Hello Year 1, it's Mrs Adcock here, and I'm going to talk you through your maths learning for this week. All of your learning is about addition. Before we start the lesson, let's get our maths brains warmed up by using the 100 square to count in tens. Pause your video now to practice counting. Now, let's have a look at the in focus task. Look at the picture. How many swans are there? How can we find out? Pause your video to discuss this with your adult. We can add the number of swans together. We can see that there are 2 big swans and 3 little swans. So 2 plus 3 equals, yes, that's right, it equals 5. Now, let's put it in our part-whole diagram. Let's fill in the parts first. We know that there are 2 big swans, so I'm going to put 2 in that part there. We know there are 3 small swans, so I'm going to put that in the other part there. We know that 2 add 3 equals 5, so 5 is how many there are altogether. 5 is our whole, so we're going to put that there. Now, how can we write a number sentence for this? We could add our 2 parts to equal our whole. So we could say 2 add 3 equals 5. Now, have a look at the pencils. How many are there altogether? Have a go at filling in the part-whole diagram and writing a number sentence. Pause your video now to do this. Now, let's have a look at the answers. There are 4 blue pencils and 2 red pencils, so there are 6 pencils altogether. I filled in my part-whole diagram, 4 blue pencils, 2 red pencils, and there are 6 pencils altogether. So my number sentence that I can write is 4 add 2 equals 6. Have a go at the next one by yourself. Look at how many oranges there are in this bowl. Fill in your part-whole diagram. Look at how many oranges there are in this bowl and fill in your part-whole diagram. Then fill in the whole part. Once you've done that, have a go at writing a number sentence. Here are the answers to that question. Now, have a look at the guided practice. Count how many brown horses there are and how many white horses there are and how many horses there are altogether. Fill in your part-whole diagram and write a number sentence. Pause your video now to have a go. When you've done that, have a go at the next one with the dogs. Look carefully when you write your number sentence. When you've finished practicing, have a go at the workbook pages. Don't forget to upload your work onto ClassDojo so your teachers can see it. Now, let's move on to lesson 2. Again, we're looking at adding numbers to 10. Look at the in focus task. There are 6 buttons in the box, and we can see 3 buttons. How many buttons are there in total? How can we find this out? Pause your video now to discuss it at home with your adult. Now, let's have a look. There are 6 buttons in the box. We can see 3. So 6 add 3. My friend said I can put 6 in my head and then count on. What does my friend mean by this? Talk to your adult to explain it. To work this out, I could use a number line. I start at 6, count on 3, and the number I land on is my answer. So I start on 6 and I do 3 jumps because there's 3 more buttons. I'm going to do 3 more jumps. 1, 2, 3. The number I land on is 9. So I know that 6 add 3 equals 9. Now, let's have a look at the eggs. How many eggs are there in total? How many eggs are here? And how many eggs are here? I can use a number line to help me work this out. I'm going to start on 2 because I've got 2 eggs. I'm going to do 5 jumps because there are 5 eggs in the nest. So 2 and then 5 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I land on number 7. So 2 add 5 equal 7. I could also do this by starting on number 5 because that's how many eggs are in the nest. And I could do 2 jumps because that's how many eggs are here. So I've started on 5 and I've done 2 jumps to get to 7. So my number sentence would be 5 plus 2 equals 7. Have a go at working out how many marbles there are altogether by counting on, and also how many books there are altogether by counting on. When you've done that, there are some workbook pages for you to have a go at as well. Remember to upload your work onto Class Dojo so your teacher can see it. Let's have a look at lesson 3. If I have 7 buttons altogether and 5 in one hand, how many do I have in my other hand? How can I work this out? Pause your video now to discuss this with your adult. We can show it in a part-whole diagram. We need to think about what we already know. We know that I have 7 altogether, so I can put 7 in the whole part of my part-whole diagram. 6, 7. In one hand, I have 5, so I can move 5 of my counters into one part of my diagram. So the counters that I have left is the answer. I've got 5 counters in one hand. I must have 2 counters in the other hand if I've got 7 altogether. So 5 add 2 equals 7, or 7 equals 5 add 2. Now, what would happen if I had 1 counter in one of my hands instead of 5? How many would be in my other hand? Pause your video to have a go at working this out. You may want to find 7 objects to help you. So the next question asks, does the order of the addition number sentence matter? Is 5 plus 2 equals 7 the same as saying 7 equals 5 plus 2? Pause your video to discuss this with your adult. When you're doing that, can you also tell your adult what equals means? My friend said that I can write 5 add 2 equals 6 plus 1. Is she right? Can you explain it to your adult? I've set up the 2 number sentences here. 5 and 2, and then 6 and 1. If I have 5 counters add 2 counters, I make 7. If I have 6 counters and 1 counter, I make 7. So there are 7 counters on both sides of the number sentence, which means they are equal. Have a go at this page of the workbook. Look carefully at the part-whole diagrams and the number sentence that it's giving you. When you've finished, remember to upload your work onto Class Dojo so your teacher can see it. Have fun with your maths learning this week.